Hello and welcome back. This is I've literally got one start from scratch let's play on Orbeleron, and I really do like the look of this map. I've had a feel for the game now for a couple of weeks, and I know there's a lot of bugs and things that aren't quite working right, but I still love start from scratch. So what I've done is I've started today and I have paid off my loan and left. You can see I've literally spent 75,775, and I shall show you what I've spent that on. I've also cleared any debt, so we are very limited. We probably cannot afford a field, or if we can, it's going to be a tiny one. But what I did, I've been tinkering with this a little bit, not on the new farmer mode, but on the farm manager, which is one of those. I like the challenge, and don't get me wrong, new farmer and farm manager is definitely a challenge. Nevertheless, I love the fact of almost starting from nothing. Start from scratch now is tough. I mean, you literally get 300,000 that's yours and a 200,000 loan. So what I've done is I've paid my loan off straight away, so that it's limited what we've got. We were very fortunate in so much as the very first thing that we that came up was a good old case, one of my actually favourite starting base game tractors. It wasn't always, I might add. It used to be one of those Ravenport, I think it was my very first let's play on Ravenport when I first got the 7210. It is in its base sort of face. I used to get that, and I used to sell it straight away. Loads of different let's plays I've tried with Ravenport, and always used to sell the cases, but they are a very much underestimated tractor. They are one of those hidden gems that you have to look a little bit closer for. They may start off, this is 170 horsepower, but it can be boosted up to 261 horsepower for just another 43 grand more. So I bought a second hand one, got quite a lot off, and also on special offer was a sugar beet harvester. Now you'll be able to see, I'm not fibbing, I've not played any conjuring or anything like that. If you can see on here, new vehicle 75775, and I mean, yes, I know I could be cheating, but that's not, to be honest, there is no challenge as far as I'm concerned if that is what you're doing. Now the loan, you can see I paid that off as well. That's a shame. Not just say that you've paid a loan off, does it? So you can't really. You can see that my loan is at zero, but you can't see. But you can see that I am not. I bought this second hand. I have literally got no. You can see by the bar that what I'm saying is true. Let's get rid of that. I know how people hate to see menus. I am leaving the top ones on though, because to be honest, I really do think most people want to see that, in a way, to see what's doing and all that's going, all of the important stuff, because that right hand side at the bottom really doesn't block an awful lot. So yes, I'm definitely going into sugar beets no matter what, or at least I can do sugar beet harvests anyway myself with the equipment that I've got. I will need a trailer. One thing I have really been enjoying, I must admit, I used to remember seeing Mr. CLP, one of my favourite he is my favourite content creator, when he was doing his let's plays, and right, let's just concentrate for a second. Right, okay, so there we go. I've got 218,000 left. I used to love the used vehicle sales that used to crop up, and I absolutely have been loving of almost the random chance of what shall I go into. Sometimes it's nice to just go into, and that was an absolute bargain. I got 60% off that, where normally, let's have a look what that would have cost me if I'd have bought that brand new. I mean, I do like normally having two vehicles, but hey ho. Right, so if we'd have bought the sugar beet, where are we? Let's have a look in the right place first. It would always help. It is that one, isn't it? So it would have been 100,000 and I got it for about 40. So truthfully speaking, that is an amazing save, and it would have seriously cleared me out of an awful lot. I know I'm going to have to buy the topper, obviously. That goes without saying. So, but to be honest, we've got a cracking machine, and I must admit, I've already done this on my whole Belleron. I love going into the sugar, and beets are fantastic. Yes, it's a lot of hard work. We're going to have to look for a trailer, and for now, the contracts available are absolutely rubbish. I mean, literally abysmal. Let me just go to my settings, because I always like people to see what my settings are at. Literally, I've just come on. Let's knock that down to, I like 3 times actually. I'm going to switch the autosave off because it annoys everyone. And traffic, yes. Seasonal growth, yes. I'm going to stick it on 1 day to begin with. I've got sleep anywhere on. Snow is on. Crop destruction is on. Always lime. I don't want periodic ploughing on. It still requires me to plough when I do corn or any of the root crops, but I don't see the need to just plough for the sake of ploughing. Because I'm going on start from scratch, and I have had Fieldstone on my farm manager, it does add a new element to things that makes things exceptionally difficult and wet. I'm going to switch it off for now. I'm going to give myself that 1 break because truthfully it already is tough for me. Line required, yeah, weeds, I want everything. I'm going to put dirt on slow, but to be honest, anyone who's playing the game at the minute knows that makes absolutely no difference. Your equipment is absolutely going to be absolutely caned. I will stick my fuel usage on low, and all of those are off already. Now then, one thing I do want is, I don't want economic difficulty on hard. I am going to, because anybody who is playing this at the minute knows workers cost an arm and a leg. That we've got base game prices on everything, which means everything is hard to make money. So I am going to give myself that 1 break that I normally would. I did in the old FS19. Did used to do. Let's have a look. Actually, let's just see if there are any small fields. Because now we're out of debt, at least we don't get any costs. Let's just see if there are. I think there are some smaller fields on this. I do like being as close to the shop as possible, truthfully. That's a collection of fields, isn't it? Yeah, we can't afford that. Well, we can, but it pretty much clears out. 52. That's a nice field, and it's got some space for sheds and stuff like that. But again, that would literally cripple us. Just 34. Oh, it's 2 fields. 55. It's getting more like. There's not much with it, but it's not far from the shop either. I do like that when it's close to the shop, if I'm honest. 51. Yeah, it got very little extra though, has it? 48. 49,000. 56,000. Now that's got a tiny bit more scope, but there are some trees. But again, I mean, that's an asset as well. So I think field 49. Let's have a look though. What has been planted? It's alright saying field 49. What I could really do with is a field of sugar beet, couldn't I? Which would mean field 52 of all those we've just looked at would be the one. Now we have already got a harvester, so we have a bit of a break on that. Okay, let's take we've sort of a hand is tipped, unless of course we went. I think that's a bank of fields, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So right, we're going to go for the one that is, and I do like that, if I'm honest. That was a really decent sort of field that I like the look of. Let's commit then. We are really on very little money though now. That is it. 78 grand. Yeah, we've repaired everything. I am going to need a home topper. Let's go and home. Luckily, we may need to. I'm going to have to seriously hire to begin with, because we have got very little cash. Why am I? Very little cash to be doing anything with now. I could always. I've not said I can't have bank loans. I'm going to be because this is so tricky. Now 52 is this one next to the on the left, isn't it? Let's go and have a look at what state of play everything is in. Yeah, right. It is this one, isn't it? Has that been sprayed? Ooh, now that is a bonus. Okay then. Let's have a look. Oh wow! Oh, weeds 75%. Looks like they've been sprayed there. That makes no sense. Okay, so we're going to need to hire a sprayer and actually spray. We fertilise 100%. That is amazing. So that is a slight advantage. Let's just check the lay of the land, because the one thing I am going to do is there's one mod I'm going to pop straight away if we've got room for it. It does give us it's the only mod so far, and it is by H2 Studios, that gives us slightly, and I do mean slightly cheaper, fertilizer sprayer and that type of thing. So without any further ado, I'm going to place that. So that is on containers, and it's 2,500. And as I said, I've literally tested this yesterday. I'm not sure where the limits of our land goes, but it'll soon tell me when I can't. Oh wow, much further than I thought. Wow. Now then, I've got to think of the future. Let's just get out of that for 1 second. The only trouble is with any kind of like farm enterprises, you have got to consider the future. So let's have a look at the map 1 minute. If we are in field 52, where would we like to expand to? That's going to be the centre. Seriously, the original farm is not a bad idea, and it is quite reasonable. In time, I really would love to go that way. So I suppose, seriously speaking, on that leftmost edge where that house is not a bad idea, because I want our silo, our container, to be reasonably close to everything. So up here makes more sense than anything, than actually the other side. So let's just do that again. Do love the way it does that. Don't want it too close to the edge of the field though. That is definitely true. Is that classed as ours? Or is that classed as their garden? That's technically on our land then. Okay. Let's twizzle it round a little. Remember which way. No, it's... No. It's Q and E still. I do wish, that's one thing I would like to... Oh, it's actually... That's not rotating the thing itself. Is it the mouse rotation? Yeah, it is. Got to get used to this. That it would be useful. The old one used to tell you what the keys were. Or do they if you press... Let me just... put the info on and then do it. It might be that that's off. No, that makes absolutely no difference. Or does it if you go into it? Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Not terribly helpful. Place item left, zoom camera. Wow, it doesn't even tell you. Oh, it does. It does if you, once you hold it, rotate. Okay, so let's stick that so that it's in the right place. We need to rotate ourselves so I can see where that's actually going to go. I don't want the trigger bit placing in a silly place. That would be daft. Okay, no, wrong way. Yeah, I'd say that's perfect because it's going to be actually almost on the road, and that's going to cost us, so it's a bit of levelling going to be need doing because that's slightly over the 2005. So we should do that straight away. Let's go straight into landscaping. Let's come out though first. I like to have a good look at what has happened. Yeah, there's quite a bit of smoothing, or it's not called smoothing anymore, is it? What do they call it now? It is softening. That's right. Only the road though seems to have gone up a little. Let's take that off again now. Right, let's sort this out. Let's go to landscaping and soften. Okay, let's go slightly bigger. Oh, no, that's a tad too big. Let's stick it on what it was. Is that doing anything? Can't see my money going down or any messages to say I can or I can't. Okay, that's intriguing. Well, it's not terrible, I suppose. It'll have to do if it won't allow me to do it. Right, okay. So we will get slightly more reasonable prices on fertilizer. It's about a quarter difference. I worked it out yesterday. I think I bought some herbicide that was a quarter difference. So there is a slight, definitely a slight cheapness in having going for this. It is amazing. So yeah, I'm glad I missed my container mod, but that is certainly making up for it. Now let's have a check on the map and see what is wrong and right about this. So it's severely growing, definitely double fertilised. It doesn't show weed. The weed looks like it's been sprayed. I think it's gone wrong. Look, those weeds are definitely sprayed. So to me, which is absolutely, for me, is amazing, it looks like I've actually fallen on my feet in so much as it may not say, but that weed is definitely gone. There's no, the leaf and the little weeds are dead, so I don't know what's happened or what, but they're definitely sort of gone. We're going to take that as if the weed is gone, because it doesn't even read it on the game screen that there's any weed there, even though the field info says there is. So yeah, let's leave that. Let's switch the field info off, because I know how it annoys people. Field info. Now then, where is... field info off. I can always pull that up. There we are, that's much better. But that definitely, on everything that looks like, is fantastic. Definitely is good. So yeah, I'm going to take it as what we've got. So we're set up. We've got our sugar beet farm. We've got a bit of land, and we've even got some space for sheds. We have got no money, but we have got a business and a business model. We will be doing contracts because this is a tough start. We're going to try to do as much as possible as we can, and we're also going to make maximum use of these daily fantastic deals. Obviously there's no way I can afford that, and even if I could, it's a 550 horsepower beast that, well, frankly is a little bit out of my tractor's price range. That one is for grapes, so not much use to us here, but I will be looking at this every single day. Contracts has gone, so right this very minute, truthfully speaking, I'm going to sleep because there's very little for me to do, and thank goodness we've got no loans, so we won't get hit by loan costs, but we have got very little money. So with no further ado, let's see what tomorrow has to bring. My rules of engagement so far are that literally we've paid the loan off, we've got very little, we've got one field to our name, we've got a sugar beet harvester, and this with no other equipment. We are going to make maximum use of anything that comes. We're also going to contract, and that is it. I will allow loans because this is tough. FS22 is not, there's so many bugs. Harvesting is terribly flawed, as I found out myself on my Horbeleron. I literally did one massive contract which basically was bugged, and I wasted 3 hours and thousands of euros in wages to a worker that in the end the contract cost me thousands and I earned nothing. So yeah, I'm steering clear as harvests as much as possible. There's probably some harvests that are okay. I know I did soybeans and that worked fine, but I think the oat harvest that I did was totally bugged out, and it was a massive field and I lost out thousands. I do try. I think most people are aware that workers cost an absolute arm and a leg, so unlike in my other Let's Plays, I truthfully have been doing most of the work myself because it's hard to make ends meet. Also, the other thing, as I said earlier, the wear on your equipment is absolutely astronomical. You are spending thousands a day if you use your tractor just for a few minutes. Thousands. So yes, it is exceptionally expensive. I can do a contract today that just pays for that, and that's if I do the work. So it is tough. The economy, even on normal, is tough. So I'm literally, that is the rules of engagement. Normal economy, 75 grand to our names, one tractor and one sugar beet harvest, plus the field that we've got here, and one modded container that's going to save us a quarter on most costs. I would like to go into the sugar business. I've did this on my Horbeleron. It's a good model, so that would mean I'd have to save up 80 grand for a sugar thing. We also need the topper, so there's no way we can do this straight away, even if we wanted to. We possibly could place it on the bit of space we've got over there, but we're going to see where the winds of the game take us, basically, because we've got very little money. And yeah, that I think is pretty much it. That's the rules of engagement as is. I'm going to be slightly more lenient than I normally would. Definitely not on hard economy presently, until all these issues are fixed and the costs of just running my tractors aren't going to literally rip my arm off every single day. So anyway, let's sleep through the night and see what tomorrow's going to bring, contract wise, and any special offers. We start at 7 in the morning. We don't waste any time here. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, okay. 100 property maintenance. What? Why are we getting charged 100 property maintenance? What for? At one silo? Okay. Okay. That's not going to eat us out of house and home, but yeah, a bit more than I expected. Nevertheless, it will save us a lot of money. So, right, let me have a look. We have. Is that a? Oh, we are going to need one. That is without a shadow of a doubt, and that is an absolute amazing. Oh, and it's fixed axle as well. What does that do? Conveyor belts are on the way to load your trailers. If it wasn't so necessary, we've got to be quite shallow in where we're going. We definitely know we're going to need that, so that is without a shadow of a doubt we are going to buy that. I'm not going to. It can stick the colour that it is because basically I just cannot afford to change the colour at the minute, and it is after all quite serviceable in the lovely green that it is. Okay, we will stick it. Oh, it comes with the extension. Amazing! Oh wow! Oh no, it doesn't. I've got to pay 5,500. We will eventually put that on for £5,000, but right this very minute, again, we will stick at that. We will have it as literally what it is. Oh, what's done away with my license plate? Seriously? Do you know? Oh no, it hasn't. Right, so then, not bad. We have got. See if that's updated now. The field info on the actual thing, because that has got no weeds. That's rather confusing. Yeah, it's not showing us any weeds at all. So again, it was bugged out. So we are very fortunate. The weeds have been sprayed. It's been fully fertilised. It doesn't need lime, and obviously until we've lifted them, won't need ploughing. We will probably. Let's have a quick look at that. One thing we are going to need to do is hire a topper to begin with, or I suppose if we're going to go into sugar, it makes sense to buy one. But at the minute, we are truthfully very, very skint. So I think we will probably lease for I think we will this first year, to be honest. That is, unless we do a few contracts. Let's have a look at the contract scene and see if we got any decent spray jobs or anything like that. Fertilising, how much would it reduce it by? 171. And spraying, quite a few spraying ones. Oh, some decent spraying ones. Now let's have a look for one with the bigger ones. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we should accept that one. But we want to borrow the items. Let's have a look for another sprayer. And has that got a big one? Indeed it has. We shall borrow the item on that one. And reduces by 588. We shall borrow the items. So pretty much. Okay then, so this is all going to be manual spraying, but they are monsters. So we want 73, 41 and 38. We will. Let's run over. In fact, we've got our tractor. We don't need to run over. Wow, that is a grey day. Now we are going to need though to run the sprayer. We'll use the same sprayer. We know that it'll allow us. We'll have 3 of that same, and we'll take our choice of tractors. We'll choose the one that we like the look of the best, and we shall go and do these sprays. we should fill that the one that we're going to use. We won't complete the contracts until we've done all of the spraying, and that is what we will do. Let's get on the slow bit. We will not repair our wagon at the minute. We should leave that here. Oh, wow. Our choice of tractor, he says. Well, look at that lineup. We have a choice of the Axion, or the Axion. So I think we'll take the Axion. Okay then, let's grab that with its narrows on, and let's grab that. This sprayer is the one that if I was going to choose, I would have it myself. And again, I wouldn't mind going these in time. Let's go and fill this. Let's go and grab this. Now then, for realism's sake, I'm going to hope that, yeah, it's going to yield in a bit. We're not going to spray. I am trying to play as realistically as possible, to be honest. It's not always been a thing, but I must admit I am a big fan of Mr. CDP, and I like to. Mr. CDP calls it immersion, and I agree. It is. It's something that I've never been that hung up about, but I think it is true. I mean, I don't mean I've always tried to play semi-realistically, and I like to finish contracts and things like that. To be honest, I've always liked that kind of realism where you finish a contract, because I don't know. That's just the way that I'm built. It just feels wrong for me to. I know it's a game, but again, it's. Right, let's see how much that's got. I think we will just go for a fill, I think. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, that's about $1,000. We are on euros. That's one thing we will change. As we're flitting from one. Let's save the game while we're in. Yeah. Let's have a look. Know where we're going. Yes, I've got my Horbella on, and on that particular Let's Play, right, we want 41, 38, and I see those two flashing. Where's the third one? 41, 38, 73. So actually, to the left of us, let's get that one out of the way first. Yes, my Horbella, I've literally, I'm 2 years in with the one-day seasons, so it's not, I tell you this much, I'm not doing it anymore. I thoroughly enjoy, what are those? Thoroughly enjoying my Horbella Let's Play. Can I get across that? It does not look terribly deep. Yes, you can. Okay, now then, let's just see. Well, I'm not used to this. Yeah, this is going the right way. Yes, I'm not doing that, but there's something about Elm Creek. When I first saw it, I always wanted to have a go on it, and I must admit, I am a bit partial to my changed looks. Let's do a bit of in-cab. Yes, I'm just something about this map that intrigues me, so I'm determined to come on this. And also, I've learnt a little bit since my first Let's Play on FS22, which I started on the day of release. So there's a few nice mods come through now to make things a little easier, like the Sleep Anywhere. That really makes a difference. So yes, I'm trying to put all that I've learnt so far. Of course, there's be ups and downs, there always are in any farming simulator, which I think is quite true to life. Now then, where are we? We need to be going further left over there. Can we? Let's make sure we're not going to do that. Okay, go on. Right, now we can see. How do we go left? I love having the mini-map open, but yeah. Aha, looks like we turn left here. Let's do some indicating. Let's its position as we would for a tractor. Okay. I guess we are further up on the indicator off. Let's have a look. I guess we're up here somewhere. But exactly. Oh, we are right next to us. Okay then. Right. I'm not going to do in-cab for this, and we are going to try to wait. So we're going to speed up time a little bit to. I don't like to say I'm trying to be more realistic, so let's just speed up time 120-ish and leave that going for a little while until we get gone. I think sugar beet. Let's have a quick look. Well, I've got a minute. Trying to look when the sugar beet. I think it's October and November, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Sugar beet, October, November. So next month. Oh, right. Smashing. We have stopped. I'm going to leave it on ×3 as my standard. Oh, now this looks perfect. I would say, looking at this. This is a big, big sprayer. Although, when you start to look at a field this size, it somehow all of a sudden doesn't look so big. Let's try and do this in an up and a down. I think 2. We're not far off at that. Maybe a little tiny strip. Let's get this right. Okay, let's get cracking. No workers, it's way too expensive. This is us by our own fair hand. I've done an awful lot of that since FS22. Gone are the days when I roll my workers out in their things as I have done in the past. They cost so much money, unbelievable amounts of money. It literally can cripple you, and you can still make money on the using them, but it really seriously. I mean, I mentioned earlier the oat harvest that went wrong. I literally must have thrown about 3,000. I think I only got, no, it must have been at least a couple of thousand. The contract was for 7,500. I wasted 2,000. Obviously, it didn't pay out because it didn't work. It was bugged. But I still was $2,000 down, euros down on that one as well. So it really is shocking. So yes, using these massive sprayers like this, I shall definitely do as much as we possibly can. On my Horbella ride, I actually bought a sprayer of our own, not one of this size I might add, but one of the 24 metre ones, the smallest ones with a front tank. But we did make good use of it, and I did lots and lots, including the biggest field on that map, all by my own. That is another thing I'm going to say. If there are any massive fields to do, I will time lapse it. I want to show, we've all got our ideas as content creators. I want to keep the flow of the Let's Play going, so where necessary and I'm not chattering and engaging with the audience, my audience, then I will time lapse if necessary, definitely. But if I'm chattering like I am now, I will just literally talk and we will get on. I also do like to do as much as possible of the contracts where possible, within reason. If there are tiny little switches, then I will leave them. But if there's a tiny weeny strip in the middle and it would take me 5 minutes to finish it, but the contract says it's finished, I'll allow that, but I will try my best always to finish. So yes, we shall see whether I need to do a little bit more in the middle, because there is a bit of a slightly larger strip than I would like, if I'm honest. Definitely. So let's see what it says. We're almost approaching the point where we have, yeah, not completed, so we have got to do some of that in the middle as well. Yeah, there's just that very thin strip. That's another thing as well about this. The the tightness for finishing is much tighter. It only seems to allow, say, the corners that you would have naturally, very tiny amounts of allowance is allowed for you not completing your contracts. Now, I do like that to a degree. I've always thought if we're playing realistically, I mean, a farmer, if he took you out on a contract and he wanted you to harvest for him, he would insist that he got all. There's no way a farmer would ever give you some of his harvest, as we have in the game. I realise it's also a game, so there's got to be a little bit of give and take with that. Right, now let me just pull on the side for 1 minute and we'll have a look if there's a quick way this way. Yeah, there's no way that the farmer is going to give you some of his harvest. He's worked hard all year and he's just going to pay you a wage. Yeah, I knew there was a bit of a strip. But I don't like that, but in this circumstances I will. Next one is, so we can... No, we do want to be going back up, don't we? Yeah, both are on the... Right, okay, let's look left. I can hear a vehicle. Right, let's get going. Whoa. Let's get my camera angle. What on earth am I doing? So we need to turn right, go down here. Let's indicate in case there's anybody coming. Well, this is a sharp turn. Indicator off. And I won't be indicating if there is no vehicles around. I only did that because I wasn't sure. I have seen some content creators who say I'm playing really realistic and I'm switching my indicator on now, and I'm thinking, what, seriously? You put your indicators on when there's no cars around? Seriously? I mean, I don't know about everybody else. I am a bit of a terror. I've got a habit of switching indicators. I reckon we can sneak down that little tiny track, but I certainly don't put the indicators on if there's nobody around to see those indicators. That's, to me, seems a little bit just I'm putting my indicators on because I'm trying to be realistic, and yet actually you know you're not, because you wouldn't do that in real life. Well, I suppose you may, but most people don't. We do it if there's a car behind us because we are really telling them that we are indicating. So why on earth would I do that if I know and I'm the only person that's around? Why would I indicate to someone else? Because there is no one else to indicate to. Yeah, that's not realism. That's just, you know, the opposite of realism. Right, now then, I don't quite know this map well enough yet to actually know. Ooh, I'm smashing. If I continue straight on over there. Brilliant, nothing coming. Let's go over that bridge then. It's not very wide, is it? Wow. And I believe we're not going to be naughty and sneak across fields, even though we've got narrows on. I'm going to believe you wouldn't do that in real life. I think we're going to have to sneak past the end of this field straight ahead of us, and it's the field behind it, I think. Love these little farmers' tracks, amazing. Now we're going onto a proper road. Let's just check. No, nothing coming. Let's avoid knocking the signs down. I think it's the one after this, if I'm honest, the one with the where you can see all those weeds. Let's have a quick look. See if it's the one right next to us on the left. Oh, we've gone past 41. Okay, we're at 38. Let's get this out then. We'll get this one done. I do love these when you can actually see the weeds on them, like this one. When they're small and young, boy, is it difficult to see them, especially with certain of the crops, like the crops that are tall. It really is difficult. Yes, in time I would love to buy a sprayer, because we can herbicide and fertilise with this to begin with. It's just the liming I think I'd have to hire. to begin with, one of the limers, because we've got no smaller ones, have we, that lime yet. It's all the base game Breddles, and they are a little bit, if I bought a Breddle now, even the small one, it would absolutely clear us out. So, in fact, to be honest, almost all pieces of equipment would pretty much clear us out if we bought it right now. So I'm just exceptionally grateful that we have already got our crop in the ground, thanks to the previous owner, and that we've completely fertilised. I can't believe now, that was definitely a piece of luck. So I would have hired everything to get that done, but yeah, I can't believe that we're fully fertilised. That is an absolute stroke of luck, and I will call it that. It's certainly nothing down to my own work or anything. So get these contracts done. So we've got our everything we need, but the oh, that's a turn. I left that a bit late. Oh, not sure we're going to do that. No, that was a terrible turn. Absolutely awful. One of the worst I've done in a long while. That's with chattering. I'm a bit tired. It's been one of those weeks at work this week. Definitely a killer week. We've had power cuts that have killed projectors and all sorts of things. I work into cinema. I manage the IT, but I manage the team that's in charge of projection. Work very closely with the projection, the technical team, as our company calls them, because they don't just do projectors. They literally look after the first and second line support for our company, and many other jobs that they do. They are a fantastic bunch of guys and girls, to be honest. But yeah, we had one of our projectors blown, and the cinema projectors aren't like the little projectors that you buy for schools or anything like. They are tens of thousands of pounds. So yes, we are. The boss is counting our pennies to order us a new one, and yeah, no one's very amused. They did need replacing, to be honest, but yeah, I think they've now been done sooner rather than later. Because as I say, with them being tens of thousands, it's not a small item that you can just suddenly think, oh yeah, let's just go out there and buy a new projector. Cinema projectors are super duper projectors. So yeah, been one of those weeks, and it also took out a few other systems as well, which we've had to sort out. So yeah, we've been rushing to try to get everything back to normal, and yeah, it's been a fraught week. So I'm probably not at my best concentration wise, but I shall do my best. I felt the need to have a chill on Farming Simulator, and let's create some content at the same time. And I just thought, I really feel like playing survival, proper start from scratch, just me and this small scale. And I thought, I do love let's see if we were very fortunate this time to actually have a tractor on the very first day, on the August that we all know you get. The August is where you start, and I literally had a tractor straight away, and I thought, great, that is amazing. We can actually right, let's get this level. Yes, I thought that is a piece of good luck. The rest, and then when I'd got the sugar beet, I thought, wow, that is an absolute. To get that, I think it was 44,000 instead of the 98 that it normally would be. There's no way I could afford that if it was at full price. I thought that is an absolute. I thought, I know what I'm going into. We're going into sugar. Yes, productions. We shall build up to that. Right, let's swivel that around. We shall get that little strip that away done in a bit. Let's get this bulk of the field done first. Yes, not a 2-minute job with a massive field like this, but it is a massive sprayer as well. Although when you look at the size of this monstrous field, it doesn't quite look so large. It still is though. 36 meters. Not quite as good as my Caverneland on FS19, but it's still not bad. That was 40 metres, wasn't it? So it's not far out. Oh, wow. Certainly using some. Mind you, we've done 2 of the 3 contracts, so that's, yeah. Not sure if we'll need to top up a little bit. Or whether we'll just about... Yeah, I think we'll just do it, if I'm honest. Thinking about... I've done an awful lot of spraying, so you sort of get a feel for it. I don't mean that you can't be wrong, but you do roughly know if you're going to do it or not based upon what you've got. I would say the contracts we've taken out, we should pretty much just about do and be very, very low on what we've got left. We've got that strip down the other side to do. So I don't mind the little tiny if you leave one front, but I don't want to leave any massive things. If it's a narrow tiny strip, I don't mind as long as it says, but I do like to try to complete the contract as within reason. Let's see if we can get that strip though. I know I just said what I said, but we are passing that way, we can at least get rid of some of it. Okay, and we are, oh, perfect. Let's get that little strip as well. Now there is a bit of a big strip over there. I know it says it's finished, but I would like to get these little patches done, if I'm honest. To be as close as possible. And this big patch here. As much as the farmer's pleased with the work, I'm not. I want to get this done pretty summer-like. Just this bit here, not bad. That little tiny strip the other way is okay, it's not too bad. Right, let's go back and we'll finish that. Well, the one that we passed, we'll have a look. I would say it's 3 or 4 fields that away. Oh yeah, I think we will have some. We may even get a reimbursement. I think we'll have a little bit left. Let's just count the fields down. It is 1, 2 on the right. Excellent. I can see it. May as well go along the side of the fields. We're not hurting anybody. So not this one, but this one coming up now on the right. Oh wow, this is rough headland. Okay. Oh, perfect. We can actually see the weeds again. I love it when you can see them this clearly. Ooh, I'm a bit far out. Let's get a little bit closer in. I think my hub, my USB hub is playing up. It's my gamepad, but it isn't my gamepad because I've got another gamepad that's brand new and it's ping-ponging as well. So I would say it's my USB hub that's causing me jip. So I'm going to have to... In fact, I have actually got another USB hub. I might actually try that one. Either that or it supports that the USB hub is on in the computer. One or the other, but it's typical. You're doing content and all of a sudden you get ping-pong noises. So I do apologise for that. It is something I shall hopefully remedy soon. Last of the 3 contracts. Amazing. Whoa. Let's get a bit more regular. Annoying. Seems to do it less if it's directly attached to my PC, so I might actually just connect it. Oh, it's a wide swing. Not as bad as last time though. Got away with that. Alright, smashing. Oh wow. If I'd have done this better, I could have finished it this side. That would have been perfect. Okay. It's going to be quite a big strip in the middle on this one, so we'll do a better job on this. I'm not leaving masses. Yeah, there is a huge one. Yeah, I'm almost tempted to come straight down. I normally go side to side so that you don't waste, but that's almost a full boom length. That's the point. Can you adjust on this? Oh, you can. You can do partial width. Oh, excellent. I knew you could do it on fertilizer, but I wasn't sure on this. That's brilliant. So, oh, I'm going to have a play with that. We shall have a look. Oh, that's so realistic. Unlike my turn, still we're partially weeding that farmer's field. I'm sure he won't complain. I don't know that it's going to be that far off a full. Okay, well, at least I know it's there, because truthfully speaking, we're about full. It's about a full run, isn't it? Excellent. Okay, there we go then. Oh wow, we're going to have plenty free, aren't we? Let's see if there's any more spraying contracts after this. I don't mind taking another couple while we've got this much spray. I think were there a couple of smaller ones? Can't remember now whether we took them all. Sometimes though later in the day you will get more come up. Brilliant, finished. Okay then, let's have a look at the contracts that we've got. Let's cash those all through. Oh, if I cash them all in, I'm going to lose my tractor, aren't I? Oh, there are more spray-ins. 60, 47, 40, 29. Let's have a look. It's close to us though. What are we near to? We are near to the 40s. So let's have a look. Oh, I've got to give this back though, haven't I? I have indeed. Okay, let's have a look. Spraying. 40. Oh, that's still a large one. And 47. And 40, 47. 40, 47. Just 60 something, wasn't there? Where's that? 60 is down there. Okay. 1447 definitely. Now, do you know? It's not. It is about the amount as well, but it is also the fact that. Let's have a look. Have we got any fertilizers? Any big ones? I don't mind doing a couple of big fertilizers. No, we haven't got anything massive, have we? Right. I think what we're going to do is literally sleep until the morning. Did we get... Oh, I think we must have got a reimbursement. We shall tease ourselves with what comes, what's on special offer. No doubt it's something we can't afford anymore, but... 100 property maintenance. Let's have a look at the special offers for the day. Tree stumps and bushes. Oh wow, that's amazing, and we will definitely need that because we know we've got trees to clear. If I don't get that, I'll kick myself because it's 25,000 normally, isn't it? Typical. And that header's good, but we're not in that. We've already got our harvester, so we don't need that. But that is definitely worth us getting, so I am going to get that. Even though it's, I wouldn't normally have chosen that at this particular time, but right, back down to 54 grand. So all of that profit we had from yesterday is about made back, and we are now in October. Right, okay then. So let's Let's pop back to the store. I won't run across there, that would be rather nasty for you all. Okay, let's repair this little lot, switch some lights on so you can actually see. We shall stick that on the front. And we shall stick that on the back, and we will repair both of these. Oh, I'm so glad this is not a swivel axle. And we can make it into a very sizable machine once we've got some more money. Right. And we will run these across to our field, and then we will hire the horn topper. Well, no, it's not a horn topper for this, it's just a topper. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, smashing. Let's get this run over to there. We are eventually going to need a chainsaw though. No point in having that unless we've got a chainsaw to chop the trees down. Now then, let's... Thinking about this, I really ought to leave this for now, and let's grab the topper. Let's lease that. Let's just make sure I am right. It is ready for harvest, isn't it? Yeah, ready to remove foliage. It is, definitely. Right, so then, let us get cracking. Beat technology. Grimmy. Lease. Yes. Okay, we're going to do this one at a time. I may well, because I must admit there's one thing that I do struggle with, and that is to do sugar beets and potatoes. I might pay a worker to do this. I know it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. Have I gone the wrong way? It's the other way, isn't it? It is. Yeah. See, it's quite difficult to do the small things, but it is going to cost me an arm and a leg, but it's just, I think it is what it is. Alright, day of harvest is upon us. We're going to have to leave them on the ground as well, aren't we? Or have we got storage at the... Let's have a look at the railway. How close is that to us? It's not terribly far away, is it? You can actually store there, can't you? I know it's a bit naughty, but it is possible for us to do. It does make sense, although to be honest, I've then got to shift them twice. That's another thing we're going to need to do, isn't it? Mind you, if we don't shift it into a silo, it means we've got to grab... We're going to need front loaders and all sorts of things, aren't we, to... Yeah, pay attention. Stop just wandering around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the topping. I probably will do that manually, but then I'm going to literally stop this session. We shall do the harvesting on the next session, because that is going to take a while. I'll make my mind up on what we're going to do. Whether we're going to literally put this straight in the silo. Now then, we don't need the back trailer. Let's put that down. Yeah, if I put that into the silo, the railroad silo, then at least that way we can actually pour it straight in, and we're not double handling. If I stick it onto the ground, I'm going to need to get a front loader, and then I'm going to need to bucket it off the ground a couple of thousand maximum at a time. So yeah, that's not necessarily the wisest thing. I've already done that once. I did that on the my other Let's Play at Hobeleron, and it's double handling all the time, which is not the wisest of things. Let's do this in cab. It's not terribly wide. Okay, let's lift. I said realistically. Oh, hang on a minute. I've actually missed some on the right. Let's try and... well. Oh wow, look at those deers in the distance. Beautiful addition that is to the game. Very nice. I'm missing the outer edge. I don't think I'm quite going far enough out. Gonna have to do a bit of cleaning up. Not fantastic in in-cab, but again, practice makes perfect. Oh, that is right in the way. That's not far off. We shall see now as we go down the first row again to see whether we actually did manage to get it or whether we left. I think we left a row on the outside, didn't we, in places? Okay. Let's get level. Sooner overlap slightly than actually have to go over again, because I've missed lots by trying to go too tight, which is what I normally do. Yeah, I did miss a bit on that side. We'll get that cleaned up. We might have quite a few bits and bobs to clean up, so okay. Not too bad. Yeah, there's a massive row on that left hand side though. I really did a bad job on that. Looks like the front of my engine. It's about the perfect place, I think. Yeah, we'll do a bit of cleanup. We'll do everything in cab and seal the cleanup, and then we'll literally do a bit of outside cab. Standard view. One other thing we're going to need to do is ploughing, of course. I think if we're buying a plough, we might actually lease to begin with, because I would like to eventually do the engine up on this, but we can't afford it now. It would cripple us. Well, it would literally take everything we own to make this into 261 horsepower, but then there's no point because we can't afford to buy anything else. So I think we'll definitely be leasing quite a bit to begin with. I don't like doing that. I know a lot of people think it's the cheaper option, which of course it is in a way, but it also is the worst option. It's especially for things you're going to buy again. But if you're only going to use things a couple of times because you're going to upgrade your tractors and you're going to go larger, then at that point you end up wasting thousands on a plough that eventually that you're going to sell, and you're going to lose thousands with it. Whereas if you'd at least that first couple of times, you'd have been better off. So yes, I'm only leasing because it's, in my eyes, more economical to do so. I've not said I can't lease. I think that's because things are going to be so tight, really. I don't think I've got much of an option, although I'm not a big fan of leasing. There is a time like now where if I bought this for 24 grand, I might not have any money left to actually do things that we need to do to keep the farm afloat. We shall harvest tomorrow. Didn't do too badly on that last run. It's not too bad at all. We've been quite good. We've not gone for a massive field, but we all know sugar beets are fantastic. It really is. Should get a good, especially out of one that's completely 100% that doesn't need lime, so we're not getting any hits, no minuses. All of the weeds were gone, and it's been fertilised as best you can. So Yeah, we should get the maximum yield from this particular field. There is room for, by the look of it, we could actually extend the field, but to be honest, I'm using this going to be as our farm base as well, so I don't really want to do that. I think we'll mainly keep the field as big as it is and probably buy other fields. And if we do eventually buy next door the proper farm, then we can, there's a lot of space in that for actual buildings as well. So at that point I may change my mind. I might actually extend the field at that point, but not by a lot. To be honest, the borders with a turnaround for workers, if the workers ever come down to the price when you can actually afford to use workers, then obviously at that stage I really will start to use the workers more. Just a bit of a pat say we'll have a bit of a clean up when we're finished. I didn't expect it to be perfect. It is in cabin, it's not very massive. See that one there, let's grab that. That's when I'm doing these slightly angled turns into the field, you're bound to miss some, to be honest. When we finish with this, we shall ring the shop and get them to come and fetch the topper. No, it's only across the road, isn't it? That seems awfully. We need to fetch our tree stump cutter. I was trying to think of the term there. The tree stump cutter. We need to grab that anyway, so it seems awfully silly not to do them a favour and take this back at the same time as we go and pick our own equipment up. It's only fair, one good turn deserves another. Maybe one time they'll let us off the higher costs. Ha ha ha. I don't think so somehow. But hey ho. They might give me a special deal one time, you never know. Yes, I was enjoying the. I literally did a new farmer, but there's always a challenge in Farming Simulator, but I like it to be a real challenge. And I don't mean that Farm Manager isn't a challenge, but I like it where like now, you know that you've really got to be careful. I like that, it keeps you on your toes. You can't afford to waste money, and of course you're going to make mistakes, but you can't afford to make many. And also it's easy to spend money on FS22, it's much easier than on FS19. So yeah, this is going to be tight. It's going to take a bit of lateral thinking to make this actually work. Let's get those out of the ground at the same time. Yeah, we definitely need to be on our A game. Of course we're going to make mistakes, we always do, but hopefully not too many, and hopefully ones that aren't going to cripple the farm, which consists of a field and a tractor and a harvester and we're getting a few bits of equipment. You can't expect to grow. That's what I like about Start From Scratch, it's the growth side of things. This is literally, we are starting from scratch. I mean literally, you don't get much more start from scratch than couple of pieces of equipment like we've got. So yeah, that is what I love about it. You can on New Farm you can start with, even though everything's small, you've still got a lot of equipment. Farm Manager likewise, you can afford to go for small of everything and have almost all pieces of equipment. So not saying it's not a challenge. I mean, we all like our own particular way of doing things. We all like different starts. Wouldn't do for us all to be the same, but I'd always in the end love the start from scratch starts. Always. It is completely different though, and in a way, with only having 300,000 this time, it is even more difficult. I just wanted to get shut of the loan because I find that quite crippling. On my whole Beleron, I think I'm down to about 125,000. I've got rid of about 75,000. You've still got that loan interest every day. So it's nice to not have that $100 a day for the container upkeep. It's not too bad. Let's get this little patch here while we're here. Seems silly not to plough that up. Ooh, there's a bit of an oddment there. It's taken a while. The toppers are small, aren't they? We're making progress. I love going round and around because there does come a certain point where you realise, oh, I can see the end now. I know most people do the up and the down, maybe a couple of headlands. I just like going round and round until it's all done. I just think you're going on both axes at the same time. Just seem for a while like you're not making progress, and then bang, you reach a certain point and then you can see that you are actually making great progress because you're getting rid of the field on all sections equally, not just up and down. It probably is as broad as it's long. I'm sure there's not much in it, to be honest, but I always feel that it's better this way. It's just the way I like to work. We've all got our ways, haven't we? I see you. Let's just get that patch. Yeah, that's when you turn into the field. I always seem to miss that. Scrap that. Missed that line, didn't we? Made a bit of a mess of that still. I'd said I'm going to clean up at the end, so I'm not going to worry about it. It's not as easy in cab, I don't find, but that's why I want to have plenty of practice, so that hopefully in time I will get better. I even did some combining on the oats harvest that went wrong, which I quite enjoyed. I didn't do badly on it, actually. I was quite pleased. Just a shame I never got paid for the contract, but as for the work, I was quite pleased with that. Let's just grab these bits of bobs. Just remember that strip on the outside of the field as well. It's amazing how I seriously think this tractor is a hidden gem. It's one of those that I myself definitely overlooked to begin with, but it's got the potential to be a really good medium tractor, really good. So yes, definitely do jump. I know it's not got the best turning circle. It's a good all-rounder. It's got a reasonable speed but not the fastest, a reasonable turning circle but not the best, but it is nevertheless a good all-rounder with a really good let's do that strip now while I'm facing it. Really good all-rounder and a really decent, quite high horsepower for a medium tractor, up to 261. So yeah, I definitely think it's, without a shadow of a doubt, a really good, one of those hidden gems that you don't always think about. And I know I didn't to begin with, but it is 261 horsepower for 143,000 is amazing. And obviously I've actually got this for less than that, so I'll pay full price for the engine upgrade, but which right this very minute is way more than we can afford. But eventually that is going to be a cracking deal when we've got a bit of money when we can. But for now it's still at 170 horsepower, so it is amazing. Let's lift that. Let's not get sloppy. We are definitely getting there now, he says. Yeah, we are. These squares are getting smaller. Thank goodness. Well, when I say squares, they're not technically squares. It's quite a strange shaped field. My favourite shaped field is actually quite circular. I always find that it's to have rounded edges I've always thought was quite good, and I know it's not, again, not what everyone, because you can get away with slow arcs with almost all pieces of equipment, just not sharp ones. But yeah, this is definitely a very strange shape. can see the end now. I truly can. Yeah, not doing badly. I'm intrigued to see how much we are going to get from this. Wouldn't like to have a guess. Not sure. That's another thing I found on FS22. My first harvest on Holberon was a field of potatoes. I was going to go into potatoes, but the AI worker, I've never seen it before. They usually, I said that with both sugar beet and potatoes. I've always let the workers do it because they tend to do a better job. They tend to get the, especially on potato and these, the narrow rows are really very difficult for you to see. But I did find, even though I did get an AI worker, there were lots and lots of rows that they actually left. Right, I'm going to go straight across. We're going to cut this corner and then cut this triangle out because it's a bit weird. Yeah, it left an awful lot, but the harvester was costing a fortune to lease, so it actually hit another hour and cost another £7,000 leasing fees, which there's no way, even though there were probably, I would say, 10 tons left in the ground, offset that against the costs of hiring the thing for another hour, and to be honest, I was making a loss, so I had to leave 10 ton of it, I'm guessing about 10 ton of crop in the ground still, which was obviously awful. But it was just with the cost of the actual worker itself, I actually probably made 2,500. I did think I'd made a loss to begin with, but when I did actually work it out, I actually did slightly. Bearing in mind I didn't plant the field, it was the first year, so the farmer before had, and I fertilised it and did all of the rest. But I didn't even plant, and as we all know, actually planting the potatoes is one of the biggest costs as well. So I made 2,500 profit. Probably the 10 tons that are left in the soil would have been my real profit, but I just couldn't afford the costs of the workers and the high costs on top. So such a shame, but I'm hoping sugar beet is less bad. But I'm also, that's another reason why I'm topping before I harvest, because I found it, I was wondering whether it was the fact that the horn top was going before and the worker was then not, perhaps it was concentrating more. I thought this time what I tried to do was top first myself, and then I'll hire the AI worker because they're only concentrating on one task rather than both. No, I did see a bit I'd missed. There we are. Just not a lot though. This is more square now than it is weird, so it should be alright. He says it still goes at a weird angle. Yeah, we really are. We're very close to the end now. Sorry, just it's a bit more concentration intensive this particular bit because there's a lot of faffing around, so I'm not trying to be rude with my guests, but just need a bit more concentration just for this faffy bit. When we've actually finished our Mind you, I don't know, it's going to take us a while to harvest. I might actually, while the AI worker's doing this, I might actually see if there's any spraying to do, and I might borrow sprayers or fertilizers and do some of that work while the harvesters. Oh my Johnny, I know it's. Keep forgetting you need to empty the. I'm going to need to do the runs, aren't I? I'm going to probably be almost emptying out all the time. So I'm going to be running that to the silo, so as we're not double handling all the time. While we haven't got our own silo, we use the railroad silo. It's a bit crafty, but hey ho. When you are small, you've got to use your brain. You've got to be cheeky. I've always said that. Not illegal, not to do anything dodgy, but cheek. Never hurt anything. Got to be as cheeky as you possibly can be. Without taking the mick, of course. But it is we can use it if we want. We're allowed, so why not? Right, let's just have a quick look and see if there's any serious patches we've missed. So far, looking good. Maybe a couple of patches over this side. Okay, maybe I did a better job than I thought. Quite pleased with that. Oh wow. Well, go you. For once you didn't do a bad job. Wow, there is a lot of space on this thing. What is that? Is it a well? Are these places where you're supposed to put the water things? Just don't get it. I don't get what they are. Right, let's go and run this anyway. Let's turn that off. We should run that back and give it back, and we'll go and grab our tree stump grinder. Smash in. Wow, that little mirror on the right's a bit weird. Oh wow, it's another. Wow, 3 mirrors. Right, let's indicate, because I can't see anything behind, but you never know. Right, let's drop this off here. Stop indicating. Let's tell them it's here. Yes, return. Okay. Let's grab that. We'll get back over to our farm. Right, how are we looking left? Looking good that away. Well, I can see our trailer, so I know where we're aiming for. Fantastic. Right, and this is pretty much where we're going to leave it. We'll have a look at the contracts though, because I always find it's usually best to take them in the morning for the day than it is to do them later. We may. Oh, I don't know. I'm being silly. There's no way you're going to manage to do that as well. Okay. We'll look though. Right. Ready to harvest indeed. So we've got that to do next time. We'll have a look at the contracts. We got any? Yeah, a few spraying, but nothing. No really decent ones. Harvest, sowing, harvesting. I am not touching with a barge pole. Ooh, decent fertilizer one. No doubt. That would cost. Oh, that's got a good spread on it, that has. It's going to cost us quite a bit, I would say. Probably make about 8 grand if we do that ourselves. Go on then, I'm going to do that, and I am going to... Oh no. Idiot. You idiot. Oh, I didn't borrow the items. Right, okay. Well, I'm going to do that. It's the last thing I'm doing this episode, because I'm going to leave the harvesting for tomorrow. Can't believe I've done that. Right, we are going to need to hire... I suppose it's as broad as it is long, isn't it, really? We'll hire the small Amazon. We may have to fill it up a few times. We shall... Oh, I can't believe I've done that. What an idiot. It was a cracking Amazon as well, that was. Still, this is cheaper to hire, so I don't suppose you can have it always. This is the last thing I'm doing today. I just want to get this done because it will bring in, probably when all's finished, about 8,000 or 9,000. Right, so fertilizer spreaders. How much for the Amazon to hire? Reasonable. Not much different actually to actually hiring theirs. We've got our own tractor, so oh, I've gone the wrong way again. I have, haven't I? Always do that. Right, let's go and fill it up from our fertilizers. Didn't seem that much cheaper from the from ours, but it is a little, I think. Right, let's undo that. Let's go grab. I do think we're going to take more. I don't think we'll do this in one hit. I have to look. It's going to be a big field for that, obviously. That's why it is so good. So we're definitely going to have to come back, I think, which is the annoying thing. Unless... Let's have a look at the size of the field, because I've done quite a lot on Horbelleron. I would know roughly how much he says. Let's have a look. Where did the contracts? We are on field 32, which is got to be big. I know that. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's not far away from us. Smashing. Will we do that on a full? Well, the good news is at least I haven't got to come far to fill up again. So that's the silver lining. Now then, let's get cracking. We'll do this just to send our price up a little bit. Fantastic. 3840. That is, how much would that be? 750. 4 and a bit at 1004. Is it 1004? It is. 1004. Oh, it is about a quarter. Yeah, it is. It's about a quarter cheaper. Now, how do I get to the field? Is it no, it looks like it's here. I'm going to indicate because I can't see if there's anything behind me, and I'd sooner play it safe. Looks like there's the entrance. Switch my indicator off. And then I would guess it's the sunflowers ahead. And that's a big field. It is indeed. Oh, I'm not going to see these, am I? Sunflowers are a bit of a nightmare. I have to do this more by feel than by using the map, I think. Goodness, I've got narrows. Not that I could do any damage anyway, but... Let's see. Will we get away with a single pass? Will we not? Let's see if I can actually manage to do this without looking too much at the map. I've got a terrible habit of using the big map too often, which I would imagine would be annoying for other people looking on. This is the last, definitely the last contract of the day, the last thing we do until we get back and we do our harvesting tomorrow. But I just thought this would hopefully send our balance higher a little bit, hopefully. That's the idea. Say without workers as well, because they at the minute are so expensive. Don't know if they're here to stay at that price or not, but I think it'll mean lots of people choose to do the work themselves. But it will again completely change the face of the game that we know. I do like it to be realistic. I would obviously I'd always have liked the idea that no man's a single woman is a single army. You can't do everything yourself. And I've always, in fact, I'm a big, massive courseplay user, huge, to be honest. So I mean, obviously at the minute there is no courseplay, but I thought I'd try to use the workers to the maximum. But seriously, they are expensive. I always pay wages on courseplay, I might add. I've always paid 100%, but if the wages are so high on this, I would probably turn it down to 50% or 75% to be a bit more realistic when courseplay is, of course, finally working for FS22. I don't think I'll be using the in-game workers because they absolutely are so expensive now. You can literally knock up to thousands, not hundreds but thousands, to do a job. Bearing in mind your contracts, you only get they're tight, and also again, I think most of it's down to FS22 being so new, but it certainly is not so easy to make. I mean, I've worked very hard on my whole Belleron. Very little, I should say. Probably 1 in 10 is done by the workers. Nearly all of it I've done myself because I just wanted to maximise on the profit. Right, let's get ready. I don't think I need to finish that to about there. I should say about there, that angle-ish. It might be overlapping slightly, but I'd sooner do that than not actually. Not to be coming backwards and forwards over and over again. Shall see on the map once I think I've nearly finished. We may have to do some clean-up work. It's nice to test yourself though. Have you learnt anything? One good thing about doing a lot of contracts yourself, you do sort of, he says, we should see, shall we? We should put my skills to the test, see how well we've done by feel and experience on this, or see if I'm as rubbish as I ever was. Should say about there. Got a massive, it has got a very good spread. We shall see though if I'm gauging it correctly. I have another patch to the right of us if I am gauging this correctly. I think I've got a slight overlap, but you never know. I'm trying to gauge this with the different, I would say there's probably one more section to the right. Should say a little bit further, and then a right turn. About now. see. When I've run to the bottom now, or in a little bit, we shall see what we're missing, because this is, I would guess, I'm nearly finished soon with whatever patches I have missed. We shall see. I would guess about here. Right, that's obviously wrong, so what have I missed? Ooh, not terrible. Oh, wow. So actually, immediately to my, if I do a circle here, it wasn't far off, and then there's the opposite on the other side as well. Let's just have a look. Oh yeah, I've pretty much done that triangle. There's a bit of a patch here in the middle. Let's just see if I get on the line. Not bad. I think I should actually get that with this. And then there's another triangle on the right hand side. We'll actually try and we will get this done. Let's just get this triangle done as well. Right. Fantastic. That's 10,000, and I didn't need it all after all that, so we'll eject that at the right near the store, so we shall take this back. In fact, you don't get much closer to the store than that. We'll eject that at the store and leave it for ourselves when we eventually do get a fertilizer spreader. Let's stick this on the grass. Of course, we all know it doesn't always work. Fantastic. Let's drop that off, and we will return that. Return, yes. Brilliant. Contracts. Fantastic. Brilliant. That is amazing. So that has taken us back up to 58,000 again, and we've got a little bit of fertilizer. In fact, let's just push that onto that grass. I didn't realise that was a proper road. Let's just move that out of the way a bit. I don't like the idea of leaving that on the road like that. I did aim for the grass, but it does eject where it wants. Wow, look at that, down to 90%. Again, that's more thousands that we would need. All that contract that we've done, not all, I'm not trying to say that all of that would. Right, anyway, without any further ado, thank you very much for watching this first episode on this thing. I think we're doing not too badly. We've picked up quite a few pieces of equipment, and we're still on 58,000, so we're sort of hovering roughly at what the 70 something, we're just a little bit under, and we've got a few pieces of equipment. We now need to harvest. Is it going to rain later? That does not look very steady, does it? It doesn't say so, but no, it just says it's going to be very grey. Right, okay, we'll take that as a positive then. So next time we're going to harvest our field and hopefully stick that in the, let's see how far the railroad silo is. It is, our field is 52. Silo is down there, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Grainpool East. Yeah, that's. I am going to leave it there though. I'm tempted to go and have a look, but I'm not going to. Right, so without any further ado, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you continue on this journey with us to see where this true start from scratch is actually going to, with the new rules and with how tough it is on FS22 to make everything work properly. So I'm going to say goodbye for now.